Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Bernard. Today's violin lesson will be on the Viotti Violin Concerto number 23 in G major, the first movement. And it's found in the Barber series, The Solos for Young Violinists, Book 5. So from Barber's standpoint, this is quite an advanced piece. So I'm not going to be dealing with a lot of basic techniques. We'll be talking about things like bowing, which, for phrasing and for expression, and of course interpretation. So we'll start right where the solo begins in measure 64, and this first section will go to 166. So I'll do it in 4 sections. The very opening says forte. It's the first. Is it going to be a down bow? As you probably noted when I just performed it for you, I started up bow. The problem with this passage is the 3rd and 4th bar of the passage on this, how the bowing is going to work out. And maybe we should talk for a moment about these dynamics. It says forte, and then in the music they've got these 2 indication of diminuendos. You're going to find this many places in music that they put in diminuendos, and it really is an accent. So if you think an accent on the D in the 3rd bar, on the, and it's interesting, if you look at the piano accompaniment, it has accents written in the piano in exactly that spot. So this is how I've interpreted it. In the original part here, if I were to be playing down bow, now you notice there's no dots, there's no staccato marks, but I've interpreted the staccato from and of course the original would be. Let's listen to it again. That is, if we did the accents. I mean, they have diminuendos, and you have to interpret those diminuendos 2 in a row, seems pretty clear. You have to come to a higher level and then go lower, higher level. So again, I'll play. I interpreted it like this, starting up. Now, trying to bring out more, using, putting the dots. That's the secret. One more time. Okay, so I'm not trying to convince you that my way is the right way, my way or the highway. No. I'm just showing you differences, and you have to decide for yourself when you play this. That versus I like having that extra bow on the. It extends the line a little bit further. And the recovery. And if definitely, it shows a diminuendo in the music. It's not a diminuendo. We're still in the same forte. Now we get to play the same basic phrase. They have marked piano espressivo. I think it's all espressivo myself, and I think for myself, I'm not going to be playing very soft here. I feel like the color difference between the E string and the D string is what's most important. So I want to. And you notice I'm not playing it all on the D string. The first in bar 94. Did I say 64? This is 84. Started at 84. Sorry. In bar 94 on the A string, and then go up to the D string. So I got two notes that I don't play on the D string. So I feel that I want to let my D string sing. Let's see if I play it. I feel like I'm sort of, I can't express myself. So I'll play one more time for me. Over to D string. So you see, that whole phrase to me, from the beginning of the piece at 84 all the way down to these 16ths, it's all expressive. And the big difference that Viotti put in is from E string, brilliant, to the D string, rich. Now there's something else we should talk about in its opening. I put my violin down so I could take up the piano part. So we could talk about the piano, what's going on here. Now in this very opening, the orchestra has had the piano has had a long introduction, and the piano introduction ends with 3 soft chords. So when the violin comes in, it's already a total contrast. I'm not really worried about being really loud. It's not like an accent or anything, this forte. It's just a full sound. And then notice that the accompaniment has three quarter notes. Violin plays the first quarter, half, it's a whole note. But then the accompaniment, bum, 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 bum. So when you're playing this with accompaniment, you need to be on the same page with your accompanist and decide on your tempo. I decided at 1/16 for quarter note. And when I played this, performed it, recorded it, I discussed the tempos with my pianist. And so we were together. So, you can't just start, you're playing with someone, okay, well, let's just go for this. And they say, ba, 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 ba. Well, now, wait a minute, that's not the tempo. So decide, take a metronome, put on your metronome, play the whole piece with the metronome to see where it all fits together. Okay, so that's a crucial thing. Also, it's very, very important to note that in that second phrase, when we go to the D string, that both the violin and the accompaniment have a rest, chord arrest. So you're going to have to cue the pianist coming in on that G on the D string. So they start together. Because the very first opening note, there's nobody else playing. So that's just you. You could just play pretty much in tempo. Make sure your pianist is ready to accompany you. But when you get to that next phrase, you come together, so you have to give a cue there. Turn the page. If there's anything else in this. Yeah, okay, so it's good. Study the score. We're coming up now to the 16th notes. 16ths on the string, start with at measure 99, and then off the strings, very, very nice. And then back to 103. They indicate this in the music. They really didn't need to put these dashes in, but they put the dashes in just to emphasize it's on the string. Same thing at 103. It's on the string, and with a crescendo going up. I wasn't happy with the fingerings that they offered. Pick up my violin again. I wasn't happy with the fingerings they offered in 104, 105. So what I'm doing is I'm playing. So I go up by half steps. I'm coming in. That makes it very, very clean. What they have is it's going to be pretty impossible to make that clean. So using a half step shift from open F sharp. See those two. Okay, and then I stayed up in position here. And a little rubato at the end of this phrase. There's no reason to play that. It's the end of a phrase. We're going to start something new at letter A, right? So I'm in third position. Come over here, find my second position. And I like it on one bow up. You could play, but that sort of negates the hairpin. We've got a nice hairpin there. If you start up bow, no question that's going to be a nice crescendo. And then I like doing the same phrasing twice, the hairpin twice. This seems like nothing to me, where you have a straight diminuendo. It doesn't make any sense. At A, they offer us a hairpin, crescendo, diminuendo, and then I guess their idea would be you automatically at 111, you're playing forte with a diminuendo. Doesn't feel right to me. Do the same thing. See, that's expressive. That says something. Then here I like because I finished down bow, just start up. Sometimes I like to do what's called the shoe shine bowing, but in this case I decided, I like. So I can really vibrato the dotted eighth notes. And then, if you want to take a little time then, let's take a look at the piano, see if there's an opportunity to do that. Yeah. Because the downbeat of the G sharp, there's nothing else coming on. The accompaniment comes in on the second quarter, so you can take a little bit of time there. You can notify your pianist to say, oh, I'm going to take a little bit of time there. And then we do this again. I do a little fancy bowing. I want to get to the frog so I can really be expressive. So. And then same thing. Crescendo, 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 right? And another reason here now, the first time at 113 I started up bow, at 123 I'm also starting up bow. And there's this whole phrase, up, down, and then at letter B, up bow. Very, very comfortable. If you start down bow at 123, you're going to be down here. And this is much more difficult, at least on my violin. I tend to overpress the E string. That note doesn't speak as well. So if I start up, see, that works really nicely. And so, of course, since I'm up bow at letter B, I'm going to have to compensate for that somewhere. And here it is. I do on the last two notes of measure 120, 128. Okay? Just remember that whenever you change your bowing, do backwards, whatever, at some point you may have to compensate for it, and you find an appropriate place that it won't sound out of place. Okay, so I think we've covered that section pretty nicely. Yeah, that's nice. At 130, these famous two passages, this one and the one when it comes into recap. I like playing a harmonic. Makes it very easy on the intonation. And then this one, this is an interesting, I always, whenever I play passages like this, and there's not a lot of them, but there's several, at 135, I always think of the Kreutzer etudes, especially I think it's number 3, that has this type of a passage. And what you want to be doing, you still got your first finger D down a half step, whole step, whole step, whole. So you think that, and of course the rest of the fingers have to work. We're thinking intervals all the way. When I hit 136, I like to do a little subito piano, so it makes the crescendo a little bit nicer. Because we're double forte there, fortissimo. Now we're coming up here. Now we've got a choice. We could do this trill as it's marked, but we're going to have to make a break. Going to change the rhythm of the passage, and let's just take a quick glance at the piano part here. And see if the piano, as I recall, the piano is very, yes, it's very rhythmical. You're playing quarters all the way through. So it will shake up the rhythm of the passage. So I suggest that you play just a turn. Do it like that. Okay, then going ahead to 141. Again, in the music they have, I like shifting on the beat here. Shift to the second finger. Now, this passage at 144 is a tricky one. I decided that to go just 1, 1, 1. That's not a difficult shift because both fingers 1 and 3 are both going whole step. Now that one's easy to make an adjustment. The F sharp half step shift there. It's pretty easy. For contrast, from piano, I like doing do a little bit more energy. Call it forte, call it mezzo forte, a little bit louder. And then we could do even more contrast. Go off the string there and then. Now, in my practice, I noticed that at C, I tend to rush the tempo a little bit. So I purposely, when I perform this, I'm really conscious of holding the tempo. That's a tricky one at the end there in bar 52. In 152, I play. Because I wanted to play this on the A string, I decided it would be better to have a longer bow. I mean, certainly, if your violin's fine, just play it the way it comes. When I do a separate bow, up bow, it tends to crack out the A string up that high. So that's how I made the compensation, by doing this sort of. So this is just, options for technical issues with your violin or anything. And also, I wanted to make that crescendo. Now this little spot here, I was curious about 155. Am I all alone? No, there's actually some, the accompaniment pattern will help me count it out, so I won't have to be sitting here going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, right? So the accompaniment, you just listen. All right, so this is another difficult passage that has to be practiced slowly. Whole step. Shift here. I like going 3-3. And this is all fine. So I think that pretty well covers these first 2 pages. I hope this is helpful for you. And I'll go ahead, take a little break here, and go ahead and record the second section, and then we'll discuss that. So I hope you have a great day. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And we'll see you on the next section of this one. Take care.